Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are at it again. We got another one of these cheapest welders on Amazon things. This is the Hynade 145FX. It's a 110, 220 volt. It does the MIG, the TIG, and the stick like a lot of them that you see. It is the lift TIG. So that, you know what that means. You just got to touch it to start and lift to get going. But today we're going to be setting this all up, showing you what's here. We'll be doing a little bit of testing out the MIG side of it because that's what I think most of us are going to use. In future videos, we'll mess with like the stick and maybe the TIG, just so we can see how it works in this machine. We do have better machines for them, but we'll see how this one works. We're just going to open this up, show you what it's got inside. This is another one of those ones with the synergic control, which if you watched the channel before, you know in the last video when I tested one of these, we don't like the synergic control because it's supposed to control how much current with the wire feed. I like to play with that a little bit more because sometimes I like to, you know, my wire speed be a little faster or be a little hotter, depends on my material and stuff like that. But we'll see how this one does compared to the other one. So that'll be a good test. And this has the digital screen just like the other one, so you can get all your controls set up. So with that being said, let me open this up. We'll see what we got inside. It's going to be the basic that you see in most of these when they're when you get them off Amazon for around this price range. This one, I think currently as the time of this video shows on there for 169 bucks, but they got a $20 coupon. So you're getting it for about 149. And that's about where most of them are sitting on the low side. I mean, there are some a little cheaper. I've seen some sub 100, but they are a little smaller amp, and I might have to get my hands on one of those, see how they do be in that kind of price range. But for somebody who's only doing it once in a while, they might be fine, but let's see what we got here. And again, these things are small. These things are tiny little things. This one's a different color. I like the yellow better than I do the other one. There you go. That's all there is to this one. I mean, they're so small that it can do all that is amazing. Get this out of the package. This one, unlike the other one, opens up from the side. Our other bigger welders, they open up like this also. It also has the chart to tell you, you know, what material you're using, what thickness of wire, all that. It tells you so you can get it set up. Then you're going to put your spools here. We'll show you that. Actually, in this video, we're going to have not a complete novice because he has welded a little bit, but we're going to have somebody who's very new to welding come here and set this up. So you can see from that perspective, if you're just looking to buy one of these for the first time, because I think if you're somebody who's welded a lot before, you're probably not going to buy this one. But if you're somebody starting out, you might buy this. So we're going to have him set this up, lay a couple beads, see what it looks, how it lays the bead down and stuff like that. Then we'll try to do a couple pieces of metal together to see what penetration we get, things like that. But that's this here. So let's get the box opened up. This comes with everything you're going to need to get you started. It has wire included. I mean, everything. Here's your book, going to get you going. The welding machine tells you how to set it up, how to get the tips changed, everything like that. It includes some gas line. Most of us probably aren't going to be using that. We're going to be using the flux core wire, but it does have that if you want to use it. Here's your 30 amp adapter, or excuse me, for the 220. This is the adapter for that. You have your torch for or your clamp for the stick welder. You have your grounding cable. That is there. Your torch is already on the front, pre-connected. And then this here, you'll see when we set up, it goes over here when you're MIG welding. You got to set it up for different things. Comes with a strap, I guess, if you're going to carry it around on your shoulder. I don't know. It comes with that. Comes with a bag of consumables. There's 3 different tips in there. You have the .030, the .035, and the .040. Couple clamps for the hose if you're using that. It's got the different wire roller blocks, so you can fit the different thickness of wires in there. And some Teflon tape. Here's a tool you would need to change out your tips and stuff. So it includes, like I said, everything pretty much you're going to need, except for power, is right here to get you going. Yep, it already has a roller in it, so we're probably already going to be set up. And then here are your 2 different wires. One's going to be the flux core and one is going to be the solid core. So if you had like the shielding gas, you would go with the solid core. So that's that one. You'll see when we open them up yeah, self-shielded. This is the flux core wire. This is the one we're going to be using right here. This is a solid core. So like I said, if you have that shielding gas and you're going to weld with shielding gas, you're going to need a tank for your argon. And then you can weld with that one. But I think starting out, you're going to just go with the flux core. It looks messier, but you can brush it. It looks pretty good. Set that wire to the side. All right, so that's everything you get here in the machine. I mean, like I said, it is a complete setup, just like the other one was. It's got the guard on here, which it feels decent enough. The cables even felt pretty good. They're pretty nice cables. The hoses and everything. The cord is fine. It all seems like pretty decent stuff for somebody starting out, so it's not bad. What we're going to do now is we're going to have the other guy here, the cameraman, who's pretty new to welding. He's going to come here and set this up as far as what needs to happen, what goes where, just to get this ready to weld with MIG. So we'll get this all set up and have him go do it. Okay, guys, I just want to give you guys a close-up of all what's here. You can see the gun here. Pretty nice. Like I said, the cabling on there is pretty nice. It's got a good guard on it. Your book, your ground clamp, your gas line. Most of us are not going to use this. I mean, it's there, but I don't think we're going to use it. Your 220 adapter. Of course, you got your flux core and your solid core wire. You got your TIG clamp, or yeah, stick clamp. All your consumables like your tips and Teflon tape, stuff like that. And then, of course, the machine. I mean, you can see my hand is about the size of the machine. So they are pretty tiny, but they're pretty powerful for what they do. So that being said, we're going to get the guy over here. The guy that's usually behind the camera. That's Nick. He's going to do the setup on this machine. He's really new to this. So he's going to do the setup for the first time. That way you could see as a novice, you'd be able to set this up and feel confident doing it. He did look through the book quick to get some ideas, but we're going to try and not help him through it and then just see how he sets it up. So here we go. All right, he's going to come in. We'll see what the first thing he's going to do first. To weld with the flux core wire, you're going to have to put this up there into the negative spot. That adapter or the piece you see hanging off the front will go in that position. It's not always going to be in that position, but for what we're doing, it's going to have to be. Next, he's hooking up the grounding clamp, unwinding the torch. So far as connections go on the front of the machine right now, you're done. The next step he's going to do is probably run the wire. So you open the side of the machine. Once the wire's in, you're pretty much set and ready to go. He's just going to take the spring and the knob off so he can get the wire on. When you feed the wire, you want the wire to unroll from the, sorry, got you guys in frame. Unroll from the bottom because it's going to feed into this end. So you want it to come out and go into there. So you want the tension on it before you get the wire. And you want to hold your wire because your spool could unspool. It makes a mess for you. So he's going to pull that out. I'll get the paper off first. All right, he's got it started. He's holding, you can see with his left hand, he's holding the wire. We're going to cut that to get a nice end on it. Then he's going to start that wire into that spring area. Get you guys in here to see better. He's going to feed it into that, and you'll see it come out over here. There it is. And then you got to feed it through the hole there. There's the hole that it's going to go into in the front. Can you guys see that? Right there. It's going to feed into that. Okay, he got it in there. He had to mess with it a little bit, but you start it into here. Once you plug this in, there is a feed button. You're going to press the feed button. It's going to roll your wire all the way through the cable. Right here, it'll come out the tip, and then you just trim off a little bit, get yourself ready. So this is pretty much ready to go except for plugging it in. What we're going to do now is show you some of the safety equipment you're going to need before you weld. This is for you guys that are new to it. Those of you guys who weld probably already have this stuff, but we're going to show you what you should have, at least the basics to get you going if you're starting out doing the welding. So, all right, one of the first things you're going to need, of course, is your welding helmet. Try to get one with the bigger screen, the auto darkening, this and that. Most of them are going to be auto darkening these days, but you can order these on Amazon. We'll leave a link to this. It's a pretty affordable one. There's a couple other ones on there that have nice patterns on them. They're affordable. You can even go to Harbor Freight if you want to start you out. A good pair of welding gloves. These are the Tillmans. Love these ones. Your hands can still move. They work good. And then also, if you want these, the sleeves, if you're new to it and it jumps on your arms, you make you jump a little bit, but once you do it for a while, you get used to it. These are the Lincoln. These go to my other machine. That's pretty much what you're going to want for safety, except for to help protect your clothes, you're going to want an apron, a leather apron. You can see right here, he's wearing it. So that'll help when it splashes on you, you're not burning through all your clothes. Then a couple other things I recommend is you're going to want some nozzle dip, or tip dip as I call it. You're going to dip that in there before you start. It helps with the splatter buildup and stuff on the end of your gun there. Stainless steel brush to clean your area and to clean the weld after you're done. And in some instances, you're going to need a chipping hammer. This will help get the slag off. So that's a couple things you're going to need to get you going. So it's not a lot. So you can get going probably for, I'm saying with the cost of the machine, cost of the safety gear, you're probably in at $250 to get you started, which is amazing. Starting out welding and knowing that you can do all three types of welding. So we're going to get this plugged in. We're going to try to just find some metal and lay a couple beads just to start so we can mess with that front control. We'll show you the front control, like turning it on, how to set the settings. You can reference this chart also, depending on what you're welding, what size wire you're using, if you're doing gasless or flux core, the thickness of your material. It'll kind of tell you where to put it as a reference, but you'll find yourself adjusting it quite a bit just to get you guys going. Let's go find some metal, get this plugged in, then we'll show you guys this thing plugged in or lit up. All right, guys, we're going to peel this plastic off so you guys can see better without a glare, hopefully. Oh, yeah. There we go. We got that cleaned off of there. Now we're going to turn it on for the first time, see what the screen does. Your on-off switch is on the back of the machine. You guys can see it there. It's not flickering. It's only for you guys because of the frame rate. That's going to be crap for you guys. Well, we'll put a picture up anyway. In this top left corner is where you select MIG, stick, or lift TIG. We are currently on MIG. You can see that there. We want to switch this over to gasless. So you just press the button. We're on gasless now because we're using flux core. Over here is where you're going to pick what wire you're using. Are you using what thickness of wire? We're on the .030, which is what came with this kit. And then we're going to want, there's 2T and 4T. We're going to want 2T for this. Then this is where you're going to adjust. You're going to turn up your powers to get you started with your wire feed and your power. This is new to us, so we're just going to start on this one right here. It goes way up here. I mean, 125, 20 something it goes up to. So like I said, we're going to do the 120, 2 and 20 and see what that does for us. So the next thing we got to do is feed wire out of the tip. Remember we mentioned that there's a couple ways you can do that. You can either press the trigger and do it, or on the inside of the machine, there's the wire feed. We're going to press that, see if we can get it to come out of the tip there. You guys can watch the tip. It'll take a few seconds before it comes out. And you know it's feeding when your spool's turning. So watch your tip. There it is. It just came out. We're fed and ready to go. You're going to want to trim it back a little bit, about right there. That's all you're going to want to start with. Then pretty much that's all there is for setup. You're going to mess with your settings on here as you go. Right now we're doing MIG, like I said, so we're on MIG. You just press the button for what you're doing, set up your differences here. The book tells you all that. Now we're going to try to lay some beads down. We're gonna, first though, we're gonna put this into our nozzle dip. Show you guys that right now. You just dip it in there just a couple times, just give it a little bit on there. You're gonna wanna, you just wanna protect your tip from the splatter. That's all you do right there. And then when it gets hot, it'll melt up. This stuff's great. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself cleaning out this tip all the time. So we're set and ready to go. Over here on our material, we just got some angle iron that we found laying around. We cleaned it up pretty good with the grinder here with the sand bit. We cleaned this end, and we cleaned here for the grounding clamp, because we're gonna need to put our grounding clamp in place, like so. So now we are grounded, and now we're just ready to lay some beads. So we're getting ready, we're gonna put on the safety gear, and we'll get ready to lay some beads for you guys. All right, guys, we got our stuff all set up. He's ready to just try to lay down a bead. Our settings on the machine, we're at the lowest possible setting we have on here. We're gonna see what that does for this thickness. This is only a bed frame. They're not very thick. So you guys, you can judge that based off of your material thickness. So he's gonna try to lay a bead down, see what it looks like. All right, first bead here with the machine. I mean, it looks decent from what I'm seeing. We'll try to get you guys closer here. I mean, it looks decent. We got the splatter, of course, you get that with that kind, but it doesn't seem like it builds much wire there. It doesn't make a big build. With this, you might have to have a couple passes over the same one. But I'm pretty sure, well, we'll look on the backside when we're done because we have it clamped down, but I think it's penetrating pretty good because we got the color on the outside there, which looks good. He's gonna try a couple more right here. Maybe actually lay another bead right on top of that. We'll see what it does. And then we'll try to weld a couple pieces together after that.
Definitely a two-piece. Yeah.
Yeah, that one works a little better. You might have to do multiple passes to get a higher build, but it depends what you're welding. I mean, if it's penetrating enough and it's doing it, you're okay with that. I mean that's up there a little bit, so that's not doing too bad. He's gonna do a couple more next to it. Then, like I said, we'll get a couple pieces, and then we'll just try to weld the two together, see what kind of penetration we get. So go ahead, lay a couple more. That bead looks pretty good. So that's what I said. It's not high build. I mean, I usually get a higher build on my other welders, but not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get a couple small pieces of this. We'll cut this in half and join it, and then try to weld two together. See what kind of penetration we get. See how it's holding together. So let's get that set up. But good job welding, guy.
Thank you.
For being a novice at this, it's not too bad. It's a good bead laid down. So let's get a couple pieces set up. All right, guys, before we get started welding the two pieces together, I want to show you the penetration we got on here. It's not the greatest, but we do have it on the lowest setting. So we're going to turn it up a little bit. But with this machine, what we would want to do ideally is turn up the power a little bit, but also make the wire speed a little faster so we get a higher build. But this machine, we're not able to do that, so we got to do multiple passes. But we're going to turn it up a little bit on the machine before we weld the two together, just so we get better heat transfer and better penetration, because it penetrated, but not as good as it should have. So we're going to see what that does on the two together. So let's get the two set up. We'll weld those two together, see what kind of penetration we get on that. All right, we have these two pieces set up. We ground the edge clean, and you can see the slight groove in it. That's better because you want to fill that. So he's just going to start up here and try to run a bead, and then he'll probably do at least another pass over that. We're trying to get a little better of a build. So, and we did turn the machine up to 55 and then 16.7, which it was on 50, 160. So you have to adjust it as you go for what works for your thickness of material. We're still playing with this one to try to figure out what works best. But just like the other machine we played with, that synergy thing is, for me at least, for somebody who's welded before, I don't like it. I mean, it's nice for new people, don't get me wrong, that kind of takes the guesswork out of it a little bit. But to fine tune it, you're gonna want individual controls for power and wire speed. But here we go, we're gonna run this bead, get these two pieces joined up. Not bad for a first pass. Like I said, it doesn't build very high, but I mean, it looks good though. It really does. I mean, you almost don't need a second pass. I mean, that looks really good.
Let's check the back.
Yeah, let's grab it and flip it over, see what kind of penetration we got out of that. Just pan you guys out so you don't miss anything. You got the gloves, you grab it. All right, what's the back looking like? We got good color transfer. You can see the color transfer, so it's not doing too bad right there. You could go another pass if you wanted to build up a little bit more, or even put a pass on this side and then grind them smooth. But I mean, you can see the color. So it transferred nicely. So us turning that up a little bit did help out quite a bit. All right, flip it back over. Is that the way you want to go? You want to?
Do you want me to finish it off?
Yeah, let's do a.
Okay, then let me.
You don't have to finish it off. Let's do
another pass on there.
Yeah, let's do another pass. I mean, that one looks really good. Let me get you guys closer. You can see that it looks really good especially for him being a novice. But you can see the bead. It's almost laying flat as it is, and we had good penetration. So I mean, I'm liking it. Actually, I'm going to leave that side. We're going to flip it over and try to do. We'll do a bead on the other side. Yeah, let's do that. That'll be better. Oh, we had it on the table there.
Yeah.
All right, he's going to put a bead on this side, and we'll get some good. Now we know we're getting good penetration because we're doing both ways. So. As you can see, it's penetrating nice, but it doesn't build very well. So it's like, for me, I would turn up my wire speed on a different machine, but with this one, you don't have that. But I mean, for a beginner though, here, grab that. It's not too bad. Let me zoom you guys out here. See what the other side looks like. Did that weld crack right there? Just shine it right to the camera here. See, that first weld we did wasn't penetrated enough. You could see the crack right down the center of that thing. I'm trying to point it out. I'm sure you guys could see it, but you see that crack right along there? So, like I said, a couple passes would probably be better. I'm going to turn it up even a little bit more, and we're going to do another pass on this side just to see what it's going to do good. We'll see if if it'll do it here. I'm not even... So that looks better. Like I said, you might need a couple passes with this one just to get that build going, get a good bond. Mess with your controls. There you go. You guys can see good penetration all the way around. I mean, it's not terrible at all. See if you guys can see in there. So it will do the job. Well, there you have it, guys. The Hynade 145FX 110-220 MIG TIG stick welder. It does work just like the other ones we've tried in other videos. It works basically the same, in the same price point, so you can expect about the same stuff. I like that it comes complete. It comes complete with the wire, everything almost to get you going. You just need to plug it in and you're welding. Again, get your safety gear. Don't forget your nozzle dip and stuff like that. Whatever you're gonna need to, you know, especially if it's your first time. One of the things I don't like for like a newbie trying to set this up is in the book, it needs to be colored instructions, because when they're showing the front of the machine and you're trying to figure out what cable goes where, it's so dark and shaded out that it's hard to make out where those cables go. So a colored picture would be nice, or a colored book. That would be nice for people trying to set it up for the first time. I know most of these machines have that synergic, whatever how they say, where the two jive together, the power and the wire feeds, and synergic. They have that where you turn up the power, the wire speed goes up. That's all fine and all. It kind of takes some of the guesswork out for people that are newbies, but again, like the other video, having that independently controllable, I think is a much better thing, because every situation is going to be different. You might have thinner metal and need a slower wire speed, or vice versa. You might have thicker metal, you need higher wire speed because you want to do a bigger build and you don't want to pass 2 or 3 passes. You want to just get a good build with good penetration. So, but overall for a beginner machine, this is a very nice machine. I'm kind of digging the color better than some of them other ones got, like, I don't know, they're almost pastel-y type colors, but works pretty good. The display's nice, it works good. And if you guys couldn't tell in our video, everything we did with this was run off a generator. Now the generator is only a 3600 watt, so we couldn't turn this all the way up. We tried it all the way up full power. Our generator wanted to do it at 3600 watts, but where we were doing it at, because we kept turning it up, it was working pretty good, but the high, all the way on high, not so much. So keep that in mind. If you guys are out on the trail or doing something out and you got a generator in one of these, you can get something welded if you're trying to fix something out on the trail. Small machine, works great. Like I said, 3600 watt generator works great for us. Just, I'm not sure if you guys heard it in the background, but we wanted to try it on a generator. All our other videos with these we did, you know, just plugged into an outlet, but being on a generator would make that more useful, because like I said, you could do it out anywhere and throw this right in the back of your truck and you're up and going. But if you guys are interested in one of these, don't forget to hit that link down below. Check it out. They do have a coupon right now where you're going to get $20 coupon right now. You can get it off. It's on Amazon, actually. That's where a lot of these come from. That's why this is more of the budget welders from Amazon. Like I said, everything you need is going to be here. We'll leave links to all this other safety equipment stuff down below too for you guys if you're looking to start it out for the first time. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and let them know that we're doing the right stuff here. Until next time, guys, I want to thank y'all for watching. Try something new.